Most people pick a Google certificate based on whatever field sounds most interesting to them, and that is honestly not the best starting point. Not all of them are equal. The lower ranked ones can still get you a job, and some of them are actually easier to break into. But the further up you go, the more you are looking at fields with more open roles than there are qualified people to fill them. I went through every single one to find out where each one actually stands. And I am going to rank all 9 of them. So by the end, you will know exactly which one is actually worth your time. The way I am ranking these is based on 3 things: the actual job volume in that field right now, what you can realistically earn, and how hard it is to get hired with just this certificate in hand. The first one is the Google Digital Marketing and E-commerce Certificate. It covers campaign management, performance measurement, SEO, customer retention, Google Ads, and social media marketing. Google says it takes about 6 months to complete. The content is real, and the skills are things businesses actually use every day. But here is where this certificate runs into a problem. Digital marketing is one of the most saturated job markets online right now. When you finish this certificate and go to apply for digital marketing roles, you are competing against people who have years of freelance portfolio work, agency experience, and certifications from HubSpot, Meta, and Google Ads on top of this one. Those alternatives are free, and most employers recognize them just as much. The average starting salary in digital marketing sits around $52,000 a year, which is one of the lower numbers on this whole list. And the thing about marketing roles is that the certificate almost never speaks for itself. Hiring managers want to see what you have actually built: a campaign you ran, a portfolio that shows your thinking and your instincts. Without that kind of proof, this certificate blends into the background alongside everyone else who finished it. The knowledge is useful and the skills are real, but the market is crowded enough that the certificate alone is not a strong differentiator. You can learn the same material from free resources online and free certifications from the same platforms employers already know, and a lot of people applying for those same roles have done exactly that. If you are already doing some kind of marketing work and you want to formalize your skills or fill in gaps, this certificate makes sense as an addition to what you already have. But if you are starting from zero and hoping this certificate alone opens the door, you are going to find the market harder than you expected. So yeah, this one is C tier for me. And just to give you a sense of how much the rankings shift from here, the certificate at the top of this list has a global shortage of millions of qualified professionals and pays more than double what digital marketing averages. That gap is what you are ranking against. So keep watching, and if you are finding this useful so far, hit subscribe because the rankings get a lot more interesting from here. The next one looks a lot better than the last one on paper: the Google IT Automation with Python certificate. Python automation are genuinely valuable and well-paid skills. So why does this one land so low? The issue is who this certification is actually built for. Google designed this one for people who are already working in IT support and want to level up, not for people who are starting from scratch. If you have no programming background at all, jumping into Python through this certificate is going to be a difficult experience. The curriculum assumes a certain baseline of technical comfort, and Python takes real time to reach a level where you can apply it practically to real tasks. You are not just learning the language either. You are expected to use it to write scripts that automate IT operations, like managing users, configuring systems, and handling files at scale. That is a significantly bigger expectation than most beginners are ready for straight out of the gate. Then there is the job market reality. The jobs this certificate is pointing you toward are mostly mid-level and senior roles. Companies are not looking to hire someone with this certificate and no experience. They want someone who is already in IT, already knows their way around the basics, and now wants to add Python on top of that to do things faster. If you are starting from zero, that is not you yet. And honestly, Python is everywhere online for free, so this certificate does not carry as much weight here as it does in other fields. The people who actually get value from this certificate are the ones who are already working in IT and want to move into more technical, programming-heavy work. If that is you, this is a solid next step. For me, this one sits at C tier, and if you are earlier in your journey, there are better certificates to start with on this list. Moving up the list, the next one is where the salary numbers start getting a lot more interesting. The Google Business Intelligence Certificate covers BI dashboards, data pipelines, Tableau, and how to take raw data and turn it into reports and visualizations that businesses use to make real decisions. Business intelligence analysts are the people who build the dashboards that leadership looks at every morning to understand how the company is performing. They are the ones who design the pipelines that pull data from multiple sources, clean it, and surface the numbers that actually matter. The salary numbers here are serious. Business intelligence analyst roles are averaging around $99,000 a year in the US based on ZipRecruiter data from 2026. That puts it among the higher paid paths on this entire list. There are 2 reasons why this lands here and not higher. The first thing to know is that this certificate is built to come after the Google Data Analytics certificate. It picks up where that one ends and goes deeper into how data actually moves through a business, from the raw source all the way to the dashboard that a team is looking at every morning. If you have not done the Data Analytics certificate first, you are going to feel lost pretty quickly, because this one assumes you already know how to query data and what clean data looks like. The second reason is that business intelligence is a more niche path than general data analytics. There are fewer jobs in this space, and they are more specific about what they want. That is not a bad thing. It just means there are fewer doors to walk through at the start, but the pay on the other side is higher. If you are already working in data and you want to move into roles where you are building the reporting systems that whole teams rely on, this is exactly where you go. So this one is B tier for me. Strong salary, real skills, but it is built for someone already in data, not someone just starting out. Still in the data world, and the next one is where that path gets a lot more serious. The Google Advanced Data Analytics Certificate. This one covers statistical analysis, regression, hypothesis testing, Python for data science, and a bit of machine learning. The roles it is pointing you toward are senior data analyst and junior data scientist positions, and salaries at that level run anywhere from $79,000 to $99,000 a year. At that stage, you are not just pulling and cleaning data anymore. You are building models that help a company figure out what is going to happen next, why customers are behaving a certain way, or where a process can be made better. And here is why this one does not rank higher. The Foundation Data Analytics Certificate is already one of the strongest certifications on this list, and for most people trying to get into data, that one is the fastest way in. Employers looking for entry-level to mid-level analysts are not specifically asking for the advanced certificate when the Foundation certificate already shows you know your stuff. Where this certificate makes sense is when you are already working in data and you want to move into more complex work, more Python, more predictive analysis, less just reporting on what already happened. There is a real difference between an analyst who can tell you what happened last quarter and one who can build a model that tells you what is probably going to happen next quarter. That gap is real, and it pays well. But if you have not started in data yet, do the Foundation certificate first and come back to this one once you are in the field. It will make a lot more sense from the inside. So that is B tier from me. Really valuable, but it is a second step, not a starting point. Now this next one is probably the most versatile certificate on this whole list, and not just because of what it covers. The Google Project Management Certificate. Project management is a skill that works in every single industry. Marketing, healthcare, finance, construction, software development, IT, and more. Every industry needs people who can plan a project, keep a team on track, manage a timeline, and stop things from falling apart when something unexpected comes up. And the job market backs that up. On LinkedIn alone right now, there are over 159,000 job postings for project management roles. That is one of the biggest hiring pools of any certificate on this list. This certificate covers agile methodology, Scrum, stakeholder communication, risk management, budgeting, and project documentation. And it goes into all of them in enough depth to actually be useful. What is worth knowing about Agile and Scrum specifically is that these are not just frameworks you learn once and put on a resume. They are the actual way that most software and product teams run their work day to day. So knowing them properly is genuinely useful once you are in a role. Average salaries for project managers sit around $102,000 a year. What keeps this from the very top of this list is that project management is a competitive field, and most hiring managers want to see some experience alongside the certification. The certificate signals that you understand the frameworks, and it genuinely teaches them well, but the jump from a certificate to first job often requires something hands-on on top of it. That could be from a previous job where you were coordinating things, a volunteer project, an internship, anything where you were actually responsible for making sure something got done on time. The people who get the most out of this certificate are usually switching careers and already have some experience working with teams or managing moving pieces. This certificate just gives that experience a proper name and framework. If that is you, this is a really strong certificate to have. And the fact that it works across so many industries that you are not stuck in one lane is genuinely one of the best things about it. For me, this is A tier. The job market is massive, the pay is strong, and it works across basically every industry on this list. The next one comes with some of the highest salary numbers on this whole list. The Google UX Design Certificate has a lot going for it. UX designers with experience are earning average salaries of around $106,000 a year. This certification covers user research, wireframing, usability testing, and Figma, which is the design tool the industry actually uses. It also walks you through building a portfolio from scratch, which is something most other certificates on this list do not do. Here is what keeps this from the very top of this list. UX design has gotten really popular over the last few years, which means the entry-level market is a lot more competitive now than it used to be. The certificate alone is not going to be enough to stand out. What actually gets you hired in UX is a portfolio with real case studies. And a case study is not just showing a finished design, it is showing the whole process. What problem you were trying to solve, who you talked to, what early ideas did not work, and how you got to something that actually did. Employers are not just checking whether you know how to use Figma. They want to see how you think through a problem and why you made the decisions you made. Building that kind of portfolio takes real effort on top of finishing the certificate. Real projects, real research, real problem solving. The certificate gives you the skills and the framework, but you have to keep going after you finish it. If you are genuinely interested in design and you are willing to put in that work, this certificate is a great place to start. So this one sits at A tier for me. The potential is real, but you have to keep building after you finish it. This next one is probably the most talked about certificate on this list. And honestly, the data backs it up. The Google Data Analytics Certificate is one of the best value career certificates you can earn right now, and the case for it is straightforward. Right now, there are over 224,000 active data analytics job postings in the US on LinkedIn alone. Average salary is around $82,000 a year, and it is one of the most beginner-friendly certifications on this whole list, which matters a lot when you are talking about something you are going to spend 6 months completing with no prior background. The skills you build here are SQL, spreadsheet analysis in Excel and Google Sheets, data visualization, Tableau, and a basic intro to R. And these are not random skills thrown in to fill out the course. SQL shows up in almost every data analyst job posting out there, and Tableau is one of the main tools companies are using to build their reports right now. The job titles this certification can get you include data analyst, junior analyst, business analyst, and marketing analyst, and those roles exist in every industry you can think of: healthcare, marketing, finance, product, logistics, e-commerce, education. Once you are in, the path keeps going. This certificate also sets you up for the advanced data analytics and business intelligence certificates when you are ready to go further. And the longer you stay in data, the more your skills stack up and open new doors. And when you look at all of it together, it is hard to argue against this one. A huge number of job openings, strong pay, beginner-friendly, and useful in basically every industry. Data is not a trend, and it sits underneath how every business runs. And that is not changing anytime soon. That is S tier for me. The job volume, the pay, the fact that it is beginner-friendly and works in basically every industry. Nothing else on this list does all of that at once. Now, this next one ranks where it does for a completely different reason than everything above it. The Google IT Support Certificate. The starting salary is lower, averaging around $69,000 a year. And what makes it stand out is what it is actually designed to do. It is the most direct entry point into tech of anything on this list. You can finish this certificate in 3 to 6 months, and you do not need any background to start it. Zero technical experience required. And once you finish, you are walking into a job market that has over 226,000 open IT support positions in the US on LinkedIn alone right now. On top of that, Google has a whole group of employers, including Google itself, Walmart, and Best Buy, that actively hire people who have completed this certification. So you are not just finishing a course and hoping someone notices. There are companies literally looking for people who have this certificate. And that is not the case for every certificate on this list. That matters a lot when you are applying for jobs with no degree and no tech experience. You have a real credential that specific companies are already looking for. But the bigger thing about IT support is what it becomes once you are in it. This certificate is not just a way to get a job. It is a way into one of the biggest career paths in tech. The skills you learn here, troubleshooting, general networking, operating systems administration, information system security, are the building blocks that basically everything else in IT is built on. People start in IT support and then move into cloud, networking, cybersecurity, DevOps, and systems administration. Every move up comes with a pay bump. For anyone trying to get into tech with no degree, no experience, and no technical background, this is honestly the most realistic starting point on this entire list. and this is S tier. The starting salary is lower than the others up here, but the path it opens up for you is what earns it. And at the top of the list is the one where all the numbers point in the same direction, the Google Cybersecurity Certificate. Cybersecurity professionals in the US are earning an average of $132,000 a year, and right now there is a global shortage of 4.7 million cybersecurity professionals, according to ISC2's 2024 report. That number's not going down anytime soon. More governments are passing data privacy laws. Cyber attacks on businesses and public infrastructure are going up every year, and more industries like finance, healthcare, and government are being required by law to have security coverage in place. The demand is being pushed from every direction at once. The certificate covers network security, Linux command line, Python for security, SIEM tools, which are basically the software that security teams use to monitor and catch threats, and incident response, which is what you do when something actually goes wrong. These are the exact skills that entry-level security analyst jobs are looking for right now. And compared to a lot of other security certifications out there, this one is actually pretty approachable for beginners, especially if you have already done the IT support certificate, because that one builds a lot of the foundation you need. What puts this at the very top of the list is everything combined. The highest salary on this list, the biggest global shortage of any field here. Demand that is being driven by law, not just trends, and a career path that keeps going. You start as a security analyst, and from there you can move into penetration testing, cloud security, security operations, and threat intelligence, all of which pay really well and are all short on people. And here is the thing that makes this field different from most others. Companies do not hire security professionals because they feel like it. They hire them because they have to. As long as data exists and regulations exist, this job exists. If this kind of work interests you and you are willing to put in the learning, this is the one to go for. This is the top of the list, S tier. If this list saved you from picking the wrong certification, then subscribe, because there is a lot more on this channel that is going to be just as straight with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.